I was fascinated with some of the technology that's going into the shoe.
Yeah, so this is really, really interesting. I guess we're pretty proud of this because Salomon is looking at things that other people are not, and the thing we're looking at is vibration, which is really interesting because when you run, of course, you hit the ground and you have a number of input signals. So you think about things like ground reaction forces, pressure, accelerations, those sorts of things. But what we know from our biomechanics lab is that about 35% of all the input signal is vibration. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine, a guy who's on the jackhammer on the side of the road, they get specific injury. It actually shuts down the blood supply just from the vibration.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So we're very focused and interested in this because it has a real effect on the fatigue of the runner as well. Because we know it's important to try to dampen vibration through your system. And the way you do that is by contracting muscles. But of course, when you contract muscles, you fatigue the muscle. So we think the equation is vibration, muscle contraction, fatigue, changes your biomechanics, and that probably has a large role in injury as well. So it's a very multifaceted story.
Let me ask you a question here right now.
Sure.
Okay, so if I take your idea with vibration, and that's similar to what you and I've chatted about when I'm looking at tracks, and they explain to me the idea
Absolutely.
of harmonics, correct?
Yep.
So the fitter you get, the way that you use vibration will change, is that correct?
It absolutely will, yep. So there are a number of different things that you have to factor in here, and this is why for runners, strength is so important. So we understand that lean muscle mass is really important and strength is really important for runners, because if the muscle is functioning better, it dampens vibration more effectively.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is particularly important for women because women tend to have proportionally greater percentage of adipose tissue or fatty tissue.
Sure.
So they get specific injuries related to that. So we're very focused on the concept of strength for women athletes especially, but we also think that this particular technology is going to be particularly beneficial.
It's a great approach to injuries because everybody uses the same kind of injury thought process. I've always thought that if we could stop injuries before they start, a lot of times you're going to have a much more effective and positive athlete.
Yeah.
So are you suggesting like core training for athletes? Is that if you were talking to athletes, talking to a beginning runner,
yep,
would you be suggesting things like yoga and doing core work?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably the single most important thing you can do above all else. So you can look at training areas, you can look at footwear, you can look at all sorts of other things, but the single most important thing is to improve your lean muscle mass. Okay. So to look at strength. We actually know that if you're a strong runner, you have about a 1/3 less risk of injury, 30% less risk, which is a lot.
Fantastic.